From KRIV, Box 26 in Houston, this is the Weekend News at 10 with Mike Barajas, Jocelyn Lane, Steve Mark with sports, and Sean Rabb with the weather.
Good evening, I'm Jocelyn Lane.
And I'm Mike Barajas. Were sheriff's deputies too hasty in using deadly force, or were they simply following proper procedure?
Those are the questions tonight surrounding the fatal shooting of a prisoner trying to escape from the Harris County Jail. As Tanya Green reports, the controversy has turned into a political issue as well.
And I'm disturbed that any law enforcement officer would believe that it would be within his rights to shoot down someone who's unarmed running away from them. I think that the policy at the Sheriff's Department, if that policy is not in place, it should be, that would not allow their law enforcement people to shoot a fleeing person who's running, who has no weapon.
J.C. Mosier, a candidate for sheriff of Harris County, says last night's shooting of 28-year-old Michael Reed was uncalled for.
Reed was shot here while trying to escape from police custody. State law allows for the shooting of any prisoner trying to escape from a penal institution.
They saw a felon escaping a penal institution, and they saw that his escape was going to be made good due to the door going down. If they had tried to run after him, what would have happened is he would have been on the outside of that door and they would have been on the inside, and he would have had ample time to get completely away. Their quick reaction was to draw the revolvers and shoot to stop him from making good that escape.
Lieutenant Ruben Diaz says it took 3 bullets to wound and eventually kill Reed. The deputies Barry Ricks and Robert Nichols shot a total of 12 rounds. Witnesses say the officers used unnecessary force, but Lieutenant Diaz disagrees, saying his officers were just going by the book. At the Harris County Jail, Tanya Green, Fox 26 News.
The 2 deputies involved in the shooting have been suspended with pay until the Sheriff's Department concludes its investigation. Mike?
Police tonight looking for a killer who shot his victim in the back and left him to die on a street in northeast Houston just outside downtown. Investigators found 26-year-old Ingleso Diaz lying on Delano Street near Commerce last evening. Diaz had been fatally shot from behind, but police have few leads in the murder. They have no witnesses or motives for the slaying. Officers say Diaz was apparently just walking down the street when he was gunned down. A man reportedly driving his motorcycle at a high rate of speed killed tonight after smashing into a car on Old Galveston Road near the South Loop. The motorcycle burst into flames and also caught the car on fire. The man driving the motorcycle was not wearing a helmet and died at the scene. The driver of the car managed to get out of his vehicle but did not wait for police.
We have several hit-and-run officers out now checking the addresses and information we did receive.
Police say it's too early to say if there will be charges filed against the driver of the car. Right now, officers just want to find him so they can get his version of what happened. And in northeast Houston, a 24-year-old man killed after his truck went out of control, crashed, and also burst into flames. The accident on the East Tex Freeway happened early this morning. The driver, Russell Lee Kennedy, lost control of his pickup. It spun around and hit a guardrail. Kennedy was thrown out, landing at the side of the feeder road.
More fires ravaging our area tonight in East Harris County. A blaze sweeping through an apartment complex, destroying 6 units at the Thorntree Apartments. Firefighters from Channelview and Cloverleaf dispatched almost all their fire equipment to the scene. 1 person escaped with minor injuries. The cause of that blaze now under investigation. And throughout the Houston area, firefighters still busy battling grass and brush fires. High winds and low humidity, a dangerous combination. In southeast Houston, this blaze threatening several industrial buildings. Fortunately, firefighters were able to contain the flames to a grassy area. Meanwhile, in northwest Harris County, firefighters are keeping a close eye on a series of grass fires that may smolder for weeks. Some residents in the area still fear their homes are in danger. Olga Campos has more.
Late this afternoon, firefighters were still busy battling hot spots. Small patches of forest fires along Kelgi Road in northwest Harris County. The volunteers used gloves, brooms, and drinking water to put out the flames. They are among the 150 people who've been fighting the fire since it was first reported early Saturday. In all, more than 500 acres burned, threatening lives and property, including homes in the Fairwood subdivision.
If the subdivision hadn't had a water supply available from fire hydrants, I think that we would have maybe lost a couple of houses in that particular subdivision.
So it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, it could have been unbelievably worse.
Investigators trying to figure out what caused the grass fire say this may be where it all started. All that's left is a burned-out building and some abandoned cars. High winds and low humidity quickly spread flames among the tall pine treetops. The owner of this property returned from a deer hunting trip to find the garage and kitchen of his home heavily damaged. About 10 miles to the southeast, another forest fire damaged at least 2 homes in the Cutton Green subdivision. Longtime residents weren't surprised to learn the blaze started in an overgrown field across the street.
He knocked on the door and he said, there's a fire over there. And you know when they say fire, they mean this property right here.
No question about it.
No question about it. You don't have to look. You go out the back and you start the hose.
Firefighters advise homeowners, especially those with wood shingles roofs, to keep water hoses handy, since current dry weather conditions increase the risk of more grass and forest fires. In northwest Harris County, Olga Campos, Fox 26 News.
And turning to political news, get out and vote. That's the message to Democratic Party faithful at Houston's Dukakis-Benson headquarters. The keynote speaker at a rally today, San Antonio Mayor Henry Cisneros, a popular politician telling teenagers, college students, and campaign workers the Democrats can win.
Election is very winnable. I don't care what the polls say or what the editorial writers say. There is a surge beginning in the counties and precincts of Texas. It is coming, and it's gonna occur on Tuesday when we have that tremendous turnout.
Houston gets a double dose of Campaign 88 tomorrow when the homeboys come home to get out the vote. George Bush and Lloyd Bentsen will both be in town for some last-minute stumping. Mike?
Well, Jocelyn, it has been 6 months since the first phase of our nation's historic amnesty program came to a close. Tomorrow, the second and final part of the program officially gets underway. And this week on the 7 o'clock news, I'll have a special series, Amnesty, Is It Working? Tonight, a preview.
The sun is rising in Matamoros, Mexico, and along the banks of the Rio Grande River, people are preparing to go to work. First, they will have to take off some of their clothing and also strip themselves of part of their dignity to cross the river illegally to find work in the U.S. From an abandoned building, photographer Dave Ciliberti and I captured the human drama. People risk everything they have to try and improve their lives, yet once they've made it to the U.S., they are often scared and unsure of exactly what they will do next. But we talked with some of them, and we'll bring you their story.
¿Cómo está? ¿Qué tal? ¿Fría está el agua?
Oh, así.
So you want to try to read and write English?
In Houston and across the nation, people who entered the U.S. illegally are now preparing to take a test that could change their lives. If they pass it, they can stay in America. If they fail, they could be forced to return to their home country.
Let's get ready to work so that we can be able to pass that test that we have to take in order to go ahead and gain our status to remain in the United States.
This is what the people who were running to the U.S. are running away from. Poverty. No streets. Poor housing. And very few jobs. This is El Barrio San Jose in Matamoros, Mexico. And the men who live here and are lucky to have jobs often work at factories where they are paid $30 a week.
So men like Valentin Mandujano travel to the north.
I work into San Padre Island, Port Isabel, and San Benito, and Houston. I'm working 3 months. I'm working in Houston.
The U.S. government wants to stem the tide of illegal immigration, but it's also offering people amnesty, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Locally and nationally, the program was extremely successful. It was the largest amnesty program in the history of the world.
Amnesty is affecting millions of people's lives. I hope you'll join me for an in-depth look at the historic program.
Mike's two-part special report airs Thursday and Friday on the 7 o'clock news.
But first, when we come back, J.D. at large.
John Davenport visits an old friend and an old salt in a concrete boat. Stay with us.
The news is brought to you by your nearby Walgreens, the Shoppers Center.
Most pharmacies have lonely little computers who can talk to no one but themselves, and your records are locked up inside. But Walgreens has a network of friendly computers who talk to each other, so your current prescription records are available to you or your doctor across the city or across America. Intercom, a free Walgreens service.
Here's a double good offer from Walgreens. Get a second set of big 35mm 4x6-inch show prints free, including a free $1.99 value album.
Fiesta has a tradition of lower food prices, and this week is no exception. Buy the 42-ounce box of surf detergent for only $1.49. And the 48-ounce bottle of Wesson oil is yours for just $1.69. Plus special savings on a bag of fresh, juicy oranges, a huge 1/5 bushel for $2.99. And Fiesta has whole sliced pork loins for $1.09 a pound. And fresh Alaskan headless salmon for only $2.99 a pound. Discover for yourself. Houston's own Fiesta.
Thunderbolt's been selling and installing factory rebuilt engines and transmissions for over 50 years.
I'm Lamar Savage. I own this record. I have 164,000 miles on my Thunderbolt engine, and I swear by the Thunderbolt motors.
We've got the biggest inventory in Texas. Thunderbolt will meet or beat any price, quality, or warranty. Call 923-8888 today. We'll prove it.
Their legacy was vengeance. Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, The Godfather, the complete novel for television. Starts Monday at 8 on Fox 26.
Well, JD is not at large, at least not tonight.
No, he's right here to tell us about a boat, and it's anything but a glass-bottom boat.
That's right, Jocelyn. If this fellow I'm going to describe to you were alive in another day, he might have been a circuit rider, or an Indian scout, or a lone sailor looking for uncharted seas. As it happened, I found him not too far from here in Galveston. So let's go to Galveston and visit this unique fellow.
I had not seen my old friend Gene Hartley for a few years, so I decided to visit him at his residence in the entrance of the port of Galveston. A couple of shrimp fishermen I know took me out to Gene's boat. There it was, sitting majestically like a big banana. He calls it the Teacup, but it's a darn sight more sturdy than that. You see, the Teacup is a 33-ton vessel made out of cement, steel, car, and bicycle parts. There is no doorbell in this home, so you use your pipe.
You in there, Gene? You remember me? John Davenport from Houston. How you doing? Oh, fine. Good to see you.
75-year-old Gene Hartley built this ship a few years ago on the shores of Clear Lake near Kemah. He lived in his car while building it, then put the car parts into his boat.
When I started building the boat, I slept in an automobile parked adjacent to the construction, and then when the boat was livable, I moved aboard.
You moved into larger quarters.
Yeah. So the automobile moved it in.
The retired engineer has tried twice, he says, to sail to Central America, but has had to turn back because of reefs and other problems. He even had a brush with some unfriendly Cubans.
Well, I was in Cuban water for some time, but they didn't bother me.
Yeah, they couldn't tow this damn thing, could they? It's too damn heavy to tow. They're going to let you go.
It's the water getting involved.
That's right.
Still, he wants to retire in Mexico someday, so he's studying Spanish.
This is all I eat.
A bachelor, he says he might start up a family down there. He kind of reminds you of Walter Houston and Treasure of Sierra Madre. He's even been honored by the posh Galveston Yacht Club.
As a matter of fact, the Galveston Yacht Club made me an honorary member, one of the number 4. And the other 3 are very distinguished. Had to make an exception, I guess.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. You're probably the most distinguished of the line.
Is he nervous being on the high seas alone?
Sailing alone in the ocean, you're in a constant state of perhaps awareness of danger, but to be the fright of a 75-year-old is not the same as the fright of a 25-year-old.
Does he get bored out on the waves?
Amusement is not the problem. It's survival is the basic problem. Alone on the boat, you have to do everything, and if a storm comes up, you have to stay awake and take care of the boat. The sea is awfully hard on a person, and it beats you up, almost collapse my rib cage. I had to climb the mast up there and make repairs in open sea for 3 days. I was strapped on the top of that mast.
But the seagoing days of the Teacup may soon be over.
Hartley says he's going to sell it or put it in dry dock and retire to Mexico. Until then, if you're around Galveston Harbor, drop in. Gene Hartley will be glad to see you. He's the only guy Bush, Dukakis, and some pollsters haven't been able to find in the last few weeks. And if they do try, he'll just shut the hatch on them.
And who are you going to introduce us to next weekend?
Next week, I go back to Galveston, kind of like Galveston, visiting a longshoreman who turned actor.
Okay, we'll look forward to it. Thank you, John. And up next on the Weekend News at 10, the Oilers set their sights on Bernie Kosar and the Cleveland Browns.
And at 0-2, are the Rockets going to fizzle or blast off? Steve Mark is next with sports.
If you like nuts, you'll love Cluster cereal. Clusters is the only breakfast cereal with almonds, pecans, walnuts, and honey crushed into little nut clusters and mixed with crisp flakes. If you like nuts, you'll love Cluster cereal.
Play Watch and Win on Fox 26. Here's your chance to win a color TV, VCR, video cam, or the grand prize, this '89 Camaro Rally Sport. To enter, just send a handwritten postcard with your name, address, and age to Fox 26, P.O. Box 22810, Houston 77227. Or fill out an entry form at Worthington Chevrolet. Then watch Three's Company and Family Ties from 6 to 7 and the Prime movie from 8 to 10. If you see your name, call the number on your screen within 26 minutes to claim your prize. Enter as often as you like. Watch and Win only on Fox 26.
Hi, I'm Marty, owner of Furnitureland, and right now Furnitureland's having the most unbelievable liquidation sale ever. And Furnitureland's also giving zero interest, no money down financing with no payments due until next year. Own this beautiful bedroom set for as little as $69 per month, or this living room set for as little as $39 per month, or this, or this. That's liquidation sale, zero interest, no money down financing with no payments due until next year. Furnitureland's really going over the edge now, so call 953-1004.
In sports, another big Oilers game.
They're ready for prime time, aren't they, Steve?
Yes, they are. They are smoking. They are ready for it. After Washington, sure they are.
Ready for the Browns.
Yes, indeed. And for the Oilers, it's a rare Sunday off before tomorrow night's meeting with Cleveland. It's been quite a while since the team played a Monday night game. It's also been quite a while, 1983, since the Oilers beat Cleveland in a non-strike game. Last year in the Dome, the Browns win at 40-7 with the help of former Houstonian Gerald McNeil.
We do realize that they're a better football team than we faced last year. And I personally thought they were a good football team last year. So every year, everybody's getting better, so you better get better along with them.
McNeil's homecomings have been a bit sweeter because Cleveland has had the upper hand the last few years. But this time around, both teams come in even at 6-3. And the Oilers feel like they're on even terms with the defending division champs, and a lot of that confidence comes on the heels of the Oilers' whitewash of Washington last week. Also, the Dome, an increasingly difficult place for opponents to visit because it's now called the House of Pain.
It's the House of Pain. Every week we play there. Every week. I think we've lost, one home game there? Something like that. So it's something we're trying to take pride in.
Oilers have won all 4 games in the Dome this season, and the winner of tomorrow night's game will still be a game off the lead in the AFC Central because Cincinnati wins again, and they win big. 42-7 over the now 2-8 Steelers. Here's Eddie Brown with 216 yards in receptions, 86 of them on this pass from Boomer Esiason. And about the only thing that can stop Cincinnati today is a collision with the rest. The Bengals 8-2. The Steelers once again are 2-8. It's their worst start since 1969. Cowboys continue their worst start since 1960. They lose their 6th in a row. Last few games the Cowboys have lost in the last few minutes. Today's game against the Giants is over before halftime. Phil Simms to Stephen Baker. It was 26-0 Giants. Cowboys come back with 3 touchdowns. Kevin Sweeney into Steve Pallur to Michael Irvin on 4th and 8. But Sweeney's 3 touchdown passes aren't enough, and the Cowboys drop to 2-8. The shocker of Week 10 is in Phoenix, where the Cardinals, trailing 23-0, come from behind to beat San Francisco. Tampa Bay loses to Chicago. Atlanta gets its first shutout in 6 years, and Philadelphia beats the Rams 30-24. The team the Oilers will play next week, Seattle, loses today, and they drop to 5-5 because Seattle loses with the Buffalo. The only touchdown of that game comes from Rob Riddick, and it's Buffalo's first ever win over Seattle. The Redskins recover from the beating they took from the Oilers a week ago. Washington slides by New Orleans after Saints kicker Morton Anderson can tie it with 4 seconds left, but the 49-yard field goal attempt is no good. and the Redskins win by 3. Denver is back on the winning track. They beat Kansas City, New England over Miami. 4 in a row now for Indianapolis, and Minnesota has beaten Detroit easily. And in the night game tonight, the Raiders have beaten San Diego 13-3. In New York, Steve Jones runs his first New York Marathon, and he wins it. 2 hours, 8 minutes, 20 seconds. It's Jones' first marathon win since 1985, and the first time a runner from Great Britain has won in New York. Meanwhile, in the women's race, near disaster for Joan Benoit Samuelson, who in her first marathon since 85, collides with a spectator, eventually gets up and finishes third. The winner for the 9th time, Greta Weiss of Norway. She has won 6 of the last 7. Well, this week the Astros will have a new field manager, and contrary to published reports, Astros general manager Bill Wood told us today the field of the final candidates is not narrowed down to just Matt Galani and Art Howe, as reported that Lou Piniella has not taken himself out of the running just yet. As for the Rockets, they enter the first full week of the regular season trying to figure out where their teammates are on the court at times, because that unfamiliarity is perhaps the leading reason for the Rockets blowing 2 15-point leads on successive nights. Friday in Denver, last night against the Mavericks in overtime, Derek Harper with a bucket in overtime, and the Rockets find themselves 0-2, searching for qualities that only seem to take time. In this case, the Rockets are going to have a bit of patience.
It's not going to be an overnight thing, okay? But I think once we get on that right track, you know, we're going to be a very good ball team.
But we do see positive things from these losses that we have had. It's been a disappointment, and these are 2 games that we should have won, but we didn't.
And on election night, the Rockets go for their first win against San Antonio. It is going to take a bit of time, but they've got the tools.
Okay, let's hope that's how you got enough of them.
Yeah.
Up next on the Fox Weekend News, even though tomorrow is Monday, it's still a day you can look forward to.
Sean Rabb's forecast says we're going to get plenty of sunshine. Sunshine.
Mrs. Rush is fine. I'm fine. The family's fine. Jackie's tremendous. What a family, huh?
Oh, boy, call out cookies.
I don't want to get married. I just want to have a baby.
In some cultures, if you bury a pig, you're already married.
And I think you've been here too long.
Too Close for Comfort. Weekdays at 9:30 on Fox 26.
What the hell is that?
Kirk Douglas and Martin Sheen are about to relive Pearl Harbor.
Enemy planes heading on course.
But they have the power to change history. Do they
We have
dare?
radar and visual contact with the Japanese fleet approaching Pearl Harbor on December the 6th, 1941. Now, what do we do about it?
Who are you people?
Request permission to fire!
The final countdown, Sunday at 10:30 on Fox 26. Play Watch and Win on Fox 26. Here's your chance to win a color TV, VCR, video cam, or the grand prize, this '89 Camaro Rally Sport. To enter, just send a handwritten postcard with your name, address, and age to Fox 26, P.O. Box 22810, Houston 77227. Or fill out an entry form at Worthington Chevrolet. Then watch Three's Company and Family Ties from 6 to 7 and the Prime movie from 8 to 10. If you see your name, call the number on your screen within 26 minutes to claim your prize. Enter as often as you like. Watch and Win only on Fox 26.
Well, Sean's here to tell us that Monday should be sunny side up. That's exactly right. We had great weather today, and I think we're going to have more of that, my friends, at least for the first day of the work week. Let's take a look right now at current conditions outside around Houston, Galveston. Up at the big airport, you see we're checking in with 64 degrees at Intercontinental. It's 67 in downtown, 60 at Hobby, and 70. Did have a nice day. Clear skies out there right now. The humidity's up 41%. That's higher than it was last. So at 7 miles an hour, you recall last night we had a northeasterly wind. Our high today was 78. The low this morning 44. And still no rainfall, which means conditions are good for more of those brush fires we talked about earlier in the newscast. Across the state today, well, you can see most of the state enjoyed nice weather. 5 o'clock this afternoon, Amarillo had 74 degrees. It was 72 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. 78 again in Houston, Galveston, 82 down in the valley, and 81 way out in West Texas. Now, let's take a look and see what's happening with our weather. Well, we're nice, but here's where winter stays right now. Still in the northeast, still along the Great Lakes, that low-pressure system that's just been kind of hovering there, bringing lots of snow and lake-effect snow showers and rain showers for Pennsylvania and New York. 14 inches of snow, in fact, today in Ironwood, Michigan. Can you believe that? Good thing we're not there, huh? That's dissipating somewhat, though. It's moving on to the east. There are a couple of other systems, though, that are parading in from the Pacific Northwest, and that'll bring some more rain and some colder weather by the end of the week. Our weather's been nice because of a high-pressure system located out in the Gulf, keeping us nice these last couple of 3 days. We think that'll change, though. By Monday afternoon, we expect to see a low-pressure system from the west bringing in some clouds, but I'm not sure that we're going to get any rain out of it, at least not yet. And then by Tuesday, well, this is what it should look like. It'll be a nice day for us, for you to go vote at the polls. Nice weather. Let's take a look now at my work week forecast. It's going to be nice indeed. Tonight, clear and not so cold, a low about 51. Winds out of the south at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Monday, you'll have mostly sunny skies until late afternoon. The high about 83. Winds out of the southeast, 10 to 15. Tuesday, partly cloudy. And on Wednesday, we'll have increasing clouds. Thursday's the best chance for rain. The high about 84. And then back to the weekend, partly cloudy and 82. It's going to be nice.
You know, it finally feels like fall.
Finally, but it's going to be short-lived.
Okay, thank you, Sean. And when we return, a festival with the Methods.
We'll head to Sam Houston Park to kick off Peace Week.
From a legacy of vengeance, a tradition of crime was born, and with it, the first generation of a powerful family that would span 2 continents and 6 decades. Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Robert Duvall, and Diane Keaton star in Part 1 of The Godfather, the complete novel for television. Starts Monday at 8 on Fox 26.
I gotta wake up. I'm not gonna make it. Not without some help. I need a cup of coffee. No, I need a big cup of coffee.
If you're having trouble waking up in the morning, try sleeping on a Big Sur waterbed. There's one just right for you. It's a better way to start your day. Big Sur waterbed, America's largest.
New this fall.
Hello, Group 1 Medical. Can I help you?
For the first time, television takes you behind the examining room door.
I've got a problem. I'm going to rescue him.
Group 1 Medical. Real doctors treating real patients.
Pain in my chest.
Drama you can feel. Information you can use.
I believe you can fight this.
Real life television.
Congratulations. You're going to have a healthy baby.
Group 1 Medical.
Weekdays at 11:30 on Fox 26.
One look and you're hooked on America's freshest and fastest new game show. It's Wipeout.
Weekdays at 11 on Fox 26.
All they are saying is give peace a chance. And today at Sam Houston Park near Sedeye House, that's exactly what thousands of Houstonians did to kick off Peace Week. This is the 3rd Peace Festival held in Houston. The organizers saying this is a celebration of the human spirit and a reminder that one person can make a difference in helping build a better world. That's something certainly worth striving for.
And that's our news this weekend. We hope to see you next weekend. And don't forget to watch the midday news at 12:30 tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
For another Rodney Young